Hi everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica, and today's video is going to be all about unit studies. One of the most common questions I get is about unit studies, because if you've been around the Waldock Way any length of time, you know that is the #1 way we learn in our homeschool. So this video, I'm going to try my best to answer all of the unit study questions that I get and take you through each step of planning a unit study with me. So the first question I normally get is, how do you choose your unit study? And that one is an easy one because it is always by interest. I always choose my unit study based off of my daughter's interest. Now this school year, we are currently actually using a curriculum. That curriculum is called Passport to Adventures. I will be sure to link that up here so you can see a look inside. It is a curriculum that I designed based off of my daughter's interest. So last summer, she asked if we could do Jack and Annie's School based off of the Magic Treehouse books. She wanted to go on all of the adventures with them and do school alongside them and learn in depth what they were learning. So I created a curriculum based off of what she told me she wanted that would make that happen. And so that is what we used this year for our unit studies. What subjects do you include in your unit studies? For us, I include everything outside of language arts and math. I kind of sort of believe that language arts and math need to be taught in a certain order, kind of in a consecutive way. They build on each other. So while some of our unit studies will incorporate fun math and language arts activities, that is not our basis for how we learn those things. Math and language arts are taught separate. Our unit study normally covers history, science, geography, art, and music. How long do you do a unit study? For us, the unit study lasts anywhere from about 1 to 3 weeks. Occasionally, it will go a little longer. Anything less than 1 week is not enough to satisfy her appetite. Anything longer than 3 weeks, and sometimes we tend to get a little bored with it, or she tends to get bored with it. A month is probably about one of the longest unit studies we've had, and that's something that she was extremely interested in, so it's easy to go a little bit longer. But I would say 1 to 3 weeks on average is how long our unit studies last. Why do you use unit studies? For us, we use unit studies because it piques their interest. It's something they're interested in. And in my opinion, and I'm saying opinion, so don't come at me with educational statistics, a child will learn and retain more when they're interested in the subject. I personally do not remember hardly anything I learned in school. What I do remember are things I was extremely interested in. So by doing unit studies based around my daughter's interests, I feel like the chances of her retaining, remembering, and loving learning are way more likely. Especially at the age she's at now, I just feel like, why make her do things that she's not interested in? She has plenty of years for that in her future. Right now, we're going to focus on things she loves so that we instill that love for learning and that intensity and deep dives. That's probably the most common questions I get about unit study other than planning a unit study. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of walk you through the steps that I do verbally and then show you as many of them as I can. So when we decide on a unit study topic, which by the way, every step I'm going to give you is kind of pre-done for you if you choose to go the Passport to Adventures route. But for the sake of this video and walking you through my mindset, we're going to pretend the Passport to Adventures does not currently exist. And I'm going to walk you through what I would do if this was a unit study we just came up with. I am going to be walking you through a unit study on ocean, marine biology. We're going to be doing technically Unit 9 with Passport to Adventures. But the first thing I do is obviously pick the topic. So based off of her interest, I pick the topic that we're going to be learning about. The second thing I do is start a Pinterest board and a library wish list. And I add everything that I think I might want to those two things. It may not be everything I get, it may not be everything I do, but I want a plethora of ideas to kind of get me firing and going. And those two are easy to start and they're easy to overindulge in, so they help you get excited. The third thing I do after I've done those two things is go around my house. I collect absolutely everything I have that might tie into that subject. And after I've collected everything that ties into that subject, then I go back to the library database and pick what I want that I put into that wish list based off of what I already have in the house. Because when I start that, I may put books that I actually own because at that moment I haven't cleared my house yet. The next thing I do is I go through my DVD rack, and I also go onto Netflix and YouTube, and I make playlists. I make playlists of anything that has to do with that subject. So I'll have a YouTube playlist that will include things that are educational. They may include some cute songs, and they may also include some art tutorials. Like, we love Art Hub for Kids, so I always make sure to look and see if they have anything that ties into the unit study. I make a Netflix My List on my daughter's Netflix profile of things that would tie in, mostly documentaries. Sometimes there's a good educational cartoon like Magic School Bus that has an episode that would tie in as well. Obviously, when I'm going around the house, I'm looking for things like books and games. Those are the main two things I look for. And obviously, whatever else I might come up with. After that, I have a good basis for our unit study. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those few steps so that you can kind of see how those evolve into what our unit study is going to be. Okay, so I have scoured my house, and this is the stack of books or reading material that I found that we will be using throughout our ocean unit study. We have the Magic Treehouse Dolphins at Daybreak, the Magic Treehouse Fact Tracker Dolphins and Sharks, the Who Was Jacques Cousteau, the Usborne Pocketbook Ocean Animals, the Usborne Peek Inside the Sea, and then these Usborne Beginners Under the Sea and Sharks. I also got the Usborne Billy's Underwater Adventure, Usborne Look Inside Seas and Oceans, the National Geographic Ocean Collection, so it's got sea otters, manatees, sea turtles, and weird sea creatures included, the My Little Book of Ocean Life, the Ultimate Guide of Ocean, and this is a Miles Kelly, and one of my favorite things about it is that it comes with these two huge posters, so that is really awesome for unit studies. We have the Discovery Kids Sharks Discover Their Underwater World. I also have this zoo book, which is Ocean Animals Anatomy. I have the Usborne Internet-linked First Encyclopedia of Seas and Oceans. I have the Usborne Big Book of Sea Creatures. And then I have the Discovery Kids Ultimate Sharks Encyclopedia, and it is a book and a DVD. So you have the movie to watch and then the encyclopedia as well. Okay, this is all of the kind of hands-on activity things that I had for Ocean. I have these sun catchers I picked up from the Dollar Tree at some point. So I have a shark and some fish. This is a Smithsonian sticker creation, Under the Sea. I actually picked it up from Ollie's, so it was only like a quarter of the price. And the reason that is because the thing that holds this in is ripped, but the book itself is still in really great condition, and so is the frame. It was just the the holder part that was ripped. So we have that. I have the Stickertivity sticker number. This again was from the Dollar Tree. The Under the Sea. This is like a sticker and puzzle book. I believe came from the Dollar Tree as well. Paint with Water Sea Life. Pretty sure that was Dollar Tree. 4,000 stickers Under the Sea. I think this one came from Ollie's. So it's just tons of stickers and ocean scenes and things like that. This one we have started. We just haven't gotten all the way through it. We did it when we did Ocean last summer. So this is Ocean World sticker book. This one is probably my favorite if you were going to buy a sticker book, because it gives you information. Like you read a page and then you have a sticker page. So this is probably my favorite sticker book. And then we have a sticker activity, Ocean Creatures. Again, I'm almost positive this one came from the Dollar Tree. Of course, I had to pick up all of our games. So we have High Seas Adventure, a game of addition. We have Ocean Bingo. Then we have a few puzzles as well. So this is the Melissa and Doug 100-piece floor puzzle. And then this is a Melissa and Doug 100-piece shark puzzle. Then I also have the Learning Resources IC10 math game. I went ahead and went through my roll of story cards, and there happened to be an ocean story, so I have roll an ocean story. This is Chomp, so it is a ocean war type of game, but it is based on the food chain. So you can see here who chomps who. So it's like ocean food chain. And then we also have the Sea Life Professor Noggin trivia. And in case you've never seen a Professor Noggin, it has 3 easy questions and 3 hard questions. And it comes with the dice where you roll to tell you which one that you're going to answer. After I have collected everything from around my house, I go through my Pinterest board and print anything that I really wanted to print. The only thing that I needed to print for this unit, because I had so many additional resources, was this printable from Chickie and Roo, and it is Layers of the Ocean, and it is a beautiful watercolor poster of the different layers of the ocean. And I'm gonna try to zoom in right here so that you can see her website in case you want to get one. So it's a pack, she has a whole pack of layers of the ocean, layers of the rainforest, layers of the earth, I think maybe layers of the pond. I'm not sure exactly what's all is included. I just know that the only thing I wanted to print for this unit, since I had so many other resources, was her Layers of the Ocean printable. Okay, now I have been to the library, and I did not get nearly as many books as I normally would get because I had so many ocean books on hand. So I only picked up a handful of them. I picked up the National Geographic Kids Sharks, the National Geographic Kids Dolphins, the Cat in the Hat Learning Library Wish for a Fish All About Sea Creatures, the Let's Read and Find Out How Deep is the Ocean, Over in the Ocean in a Coral Reef, the Shark Lady, the true story of how Eugenie Clark became the ocean's most fearless scientist, The Fantastic Undersea Life of Jacques Cousteau, and of course, our favorites, the big books. So I had to get the Big Book of the Blue. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys real quick how I store this. So you just saw all of the activities and all of the books. This is the jute chalkboard basket from Organizer Logic, and it is huge. So it gives me the ability to be able to store all of my books kind of on this side, and then my printables and activities over here. That way she doesn't have to kind of search for them. She can just, know that this side is her activity stuff and grab one of the activities that she wants to do. As we're reading or get a book, she kind of knows it's sorted. The only thing I don't normally put in here are our games, because I have a table that this sits next to where I kind of lay out the games I would like to play that week. And so I lay out normally like language arts games, math games, and then unit study games. And she can pick one of those each day. So our games sit on a table next to this big basket. And this is all of our books and hands-on activities for the week or 2 weeks. Okay, so the next thing I do is get my daughter's tablet and I go through our Epic, Netflix, and YouTube and make playlists for her. So Epic is kind of like Netflix for books. Netflix is obviously movies and documentaries, and then YouTube is just YouTube. So I make her a book list and send it to her. Then I make I add things to the My List and Netflix, and I make a playlist for YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll show it to you. All right, so here is her Epic library and some of the books that I added for her. So she's got some coral reefs, some on each of the individual animals, and then she has a few nonfiction fun books as well. And then here is her list on Netflix, the 2 Blue Planets, Octonauts, and then the 2 Magic School Bus, because they both have ocean videos as well. And now luckily the YouTube playlist is super easy, because if you're using Passport to Adventures, there are YouTube playlists for every unit. So this is just the Unit 9 YouTube playlist, and so it was already made. So I just added it to her library so that she could watch those videos that went along with this unit. So the very last thing I do is sit down with my Parkoo erasable pens and my planner open to the Unit Study Planner page, and I start writing in all of the books, the videos and websites, and the games and activities, so that I will have a record of everything I have on hand for us to do. So since we are doing an ocean unit, I'm going to use my blue pen and I'm going to start planning now. All right, and now I'm done planning. I've listed out all of the books I have for us to read. I have listed out the playlists and the videos that I have, the websites for us to visit, and all of the games and activities I would like for us to do. And so what I do now is as we do them, since I don't have them required, I just put a check mark or a little X in each of the boxes beside them. And that way at the end of the unit, I have compiled what we actually did without having to rewrite it again. Okay, I feel like I need a disclaimer here because I've shown you a ton of stuff for unit study. I wanted to be as transparent as possible and show you through every step and kind of inside my brain. And I know that if you don't work the same way I work, I probably just overloaded you. So at the very end, here's my disclaimer. We will not do it all. Absolutely no way possible. We are not going to do everything I showed you. Even if we did ocean unit study for like 6 months, we still probably wouldn't get to it all. So what I do is I have a few things that I choose to be the meat of a unit study. Those few things will probably be the Magic Treehouse book, the fact tracker, some of the Who Was books. I'll have, the printable from Chickie and Roo, just some of the things that I'll choose to be the meat, kind of the the core focus that has the most for like bang for its buck, for lack of better word. And then everything else I just kind of lay, and it's like the feast, and she can choose and pick and do what she wants. I will have it all out in the basket that I showed you, and she will be able to choose each day during our unit study time and at other times of the day to pick activities or books or ideas or watch videos or, kind of whatever she wants. We kind of live ocean as a lifestyle for the next 2 to 3 weeks or even a month if that's what we choose to do. But just know that there's absolutely no way we're going to do everything that I showed you. However, I am going to have it laid out as a feast for her, and we will have fun. We will learn a ton, and we will make sure that by the end of it, we have satisfied her interest in the subject and that she's been, fed full on the feast of ocean by the end of it. But please, please, please know that we will not do it all. You can't do it all. It's okay not to do it all. And do not look at everything I just showed you and go, I can't do this, because you can. You totally can. I've been doing unit studies for almost 2 years now. You can do it. You can start small. It's okay. Go get a couple of books and maybe a game, and you've got a unit study. You don't have to have everything that I just showed you. I promise it'll be okay.